Hello, I am glad to welcome you to the channel. Today, I have prepared a digest of the freshest news from the world of artificial intelligence for you, so make yourself comfortable and let's get started. Today, we're diving into a massive shift in how we build software with the release of Claude Code and its autonomous auto mode. We will also look at OpenAI's staggering $1 billion shield fund and why Sam Altman is suddenly opening his checkbook. We'll explore the birth of reasoning robots from Google DeepMind, a landmark court ruling against Meta and YouTube's algorithms, and finally, why your Excel spreadsheets just became a lot smarter than your accountant thanks to GPT 5.4. Claude Code Auto Mode, the end of the junior developer era. The era of simply getting code suggestions is officially over. On March 25, 2026, Anthropic released Claude Code featuring a terrifyingly capable auto mode. This isn't just a fancy autocomplete, it is a terminal-based agent that effectively takes the keys to your project. It navigates your file system, reads and edits code, executes terminal commands like npm install, and even fixes compilation errors by analyzing logs in real time. Imagine telling your computer, Claude, migrate our entire auth system to OAuth 2.0 and make sure the tests pass, and then just walking away to grab a coffee. This has sparked a massive debate in the developer community. On Reddit, users are sharing stories of watching the AI argue with itself in the logs for 15 minutes before solving bugs that humans couldn't find for days. While some see it as a superpower, others are rightfully worried. Giving an AI direct access to execute terminal commands is a massive security risk. One hallucination could accidentally wipe a database or execute a malicious script. In my opinion, we are witnessing the transformation of a programmer from a writer to an editor-in-chief. The barrier to entry for building complex software is collapsing, but the responsibility for oversight is skyrocketing. I have to wonder, are we training the next generation of developers, or are we just training them to be Claude operators? It's a thin line between efficiency and obsolescence. Speaking of shifts in power, let's look at how the biggest player in the game is trying to handle its growing list of critics.
OpenAI's $1 billion shield, heroism or public relations. While the world is grappling with fears of deepfakes and job losses, Sam Altman has decided to pull out a $1 billion checkbook. On March 27, 2026, OpenAI announced a massive global fund focused on three pillars: child safety, workforce retraining, and election integrity. They're developing real-time filters to block AI manipulations in games and social media, providing direct subsidies for professionals like accountants and paralegals whose jobs have been automated, and building tools to detect deepfakes ahead of the 2026 election cycle. By the way, if you are enjoying this format and want to stay up to date with everything happening in the AI world, please subscribe to the channel. It's free, and it helps me know that you're riding this wave with us. Now, let's get back to it. The reaction to this billion-dollar move has been mixed, to say the least. Critics on platforms like Reddit are calling it a firefighter's gift. OpenAI is providing the fire extinguisher for a fire they arguably started. With a company valuation hovering near $1 trillion, $1 billion is a small price to pay to keep regulators at bay. However, supporters argue that at least someone is putting real money into retraining people instead of just offering thoughts and prayers for the displaced workforce. I personally find the timing fascinating. It feels like a strategic move to soften the blow of upcoming AI regulations. Is this genuine corporate responsibility or just a very expensive way to buy public favor? Either way, the impact of these funds will be felt globally as we enter a high-stakes election year. Google DeepMind and agile robots, the rise of the reasoning machine. The Terminator future just got a lot more real. On March 25, 2026, Google DeepMind announced a partnership with Agile Robots to integrate Gemini's multimodal brains directly into industrial and humanoid robots. This marks a shift from robots that follow a rigid script to robots that can actually reason. Instead of a pre-programmed path, these machines can understand complex commands like find the parts with micro cracks on the warehouse floor and sort them by wear level. This is a direct shot across the bow of Elon Musk's Optimus. We're moving from vacuum cleaner robots to colleague robots that recognize visual patterns and make decisions without a human operator. On the r/Singularity subreddit, users are buzzing about demos where robots use nearby objects as tools to reach items, a level of problem solving we haven't seen in commercial robotics until now. This isn't just about cool tech, it's about the labor market. We used to think AI was only coming for white-collar, office jobs. With this move, Google is officially coming for the blue-collar sector. If a robot can think, adapt, and work 24/7 without a break, the manufacturing and logistics industries are about to change forever. I'm curious if we're ready for the social implications of a robot that can think its way through a factory floor.
Meta and YouTube found guilty. The tobacco moment for social media. In a truly historic legal precedent, a jury ruled on March 25, 2026, that Meta and Google are liable for creating digital addiction. The court found that Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube intentionally used dopamine loops to keep teenagers hooked, even when the platforms detected signs of depression and anxiety in those users. This is being called the tobacco moment for big tech. The potential fines could reach tens of billions of dollars, but more importantly, the court may force these giants to completely dismantle their recommendation algorithms for minors. While parents are celebrating this as a long overdue victory for children's mental health, free speech advocates are worried. There is a fear that if courts start dictating how algorithms work, we might end up with a sterile, heavily censored internet similar to the systems used in highly restrictive regimes. Regardless of where you stand on regulation, this verdict changes the game. It proves that the black box of AI recommendations is no longer a legal shield. If your algorithm causes harm, you are now responsible for it. It will be fascinating to see how these platforms re-engineer their AI to be healthy rather than just engaging. GPT 5.4 in Excel, accounting on steroids. Finally, for those of you who live in spreadsheets, everything is about to change. Microsoft has integrated GPT 5.4 with a massive 1 million token context window directly into Excel. This means you can drop 10 years of a company's financial reports into a single sheet, and the AI will swallow it instantly. You no longer need to remember complex VLOOKUPs or how to build a pivot table. You can now simply ask, find the anomalies in our 2025 spending and build a risk forecast for next quarter, and the AI performs complex mathematical regressions in seconds. This isn't just a helper, it's basically an automated chief financial officer sitting in your toolbar. Longtime Excel wizards are already joking on Reddit about their retirement, as interns can now produce better reports than veterans just by using the right prompts. This is the perfect example of AI making a specific skill set, knowing formulas, obsolete, while making the ability to ask the right strategic questions more valuable than ever before. The fact that the AI sees the whole business at once through that million-token window is a level of data synthesis that no human could ever match. To wrap things up, this week has shown us that AI is no longer just a digital assistant. It is becoming an autonomous agent in our terminals, a reasoning force in our factories, and a regulated entity in our courtrooms. From Anthropic's code agents to OpenAI's billion-dollar safety net, the stakes are getting higher and the technology is getting more integrated into our daily physical and professional lives. That is all for today. Thank you for staying with us until the end. If this update was helpful, please give it a like. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments, which of today's news surprised you the most? Is it the coding agent or the billion-dollar OpenAI fund? I read every comment. See you in the next episode.